Your baby chicks are now born. It is up to you to protect them until they are ready for sale. Baby chicks need extra care for the first 3 weeks after they hatch. These young birds can easily die from cold, thirst, hunger, predators, or getting crushed by other chickens. You can use your ovo brooder to keep your baby chicks safe and warm. We will show you how. Before your first chicks hatch, you should set up the easy-to-use ovo brooder. The box that the incubator was transported in is designed to be a brooder. This is a special box that is strong and warm. Careful Mary finds the marked square on the top of her brooder. She carefully cuts out this square. Mary removes the tape from the clear plastic window. Now she attaches her window. The glue on the clear plastic window sticks to the brooder box. This window will provide some light inside the brooder. The second step is setting up a smaller box for baby chicks. Careful Mary unfolds the extra layer on the bottom of her brooder box. The edges of this extra layer fits in 2 thin holes on the side of the brooder. Next, Careful Mary secures the little box in place using the 2 nails that arrived with her incubator. Now that the nails are securing the small box, Careful Mary has a small place for chicks to sit together inside her brooder. The third step is making a door for her baby chicks. Careful Mary wants her chicks to be able to enter and leave the brooder. She finds the dotted lines on the side of the incubator that show where she should cut. She slowly cuts along the dotted lines to make a door. This door is big enough for small chicks. It is too small for older chicks or adults. Careful Mary knows that if the door is too big, the adult chickens will enter the brooder and steal the food from the baby chicks. The fourth step is preparing food and water. Careful Mary makes sure that her chicks have food and water all day and all night. She starts with putting chick food in the feeder that comes with the incubator. You can leave the feeder inside your brooder. The chicks will be healthy and grow big if they have good food when they are young. You should also give water to your chicks. They will grow fastest if they have clean drinking water all day and all night. The water does not need to go inside the brooder. Careful Mary knows that the baby chicks will get wet and then cold if the drinker is inside the brooder. Now your chicks will not be cold, hungry, or thirsty. They will grow quickly. You are ready for eggs to hatch. Remember to set up the brooder at least 2 days before the chicks are supposed to hatch. When you find an egg that has hatched, quickly remove the chick. Also, quickly remove any pieces of the eggshell from the incubator. Warning: if you leave pieces of the eggshell in the incubator, diseases can spread through the incubator. All of the eggs might die. Remove both the egg and chick quickly before the incubator becomes too cold. Your chicks can now be placed in your brooder. They can enter the brooder to stay warm and leave the brooder by themselves when they are too warm or thirsty. Careful Mary closes her brooder to help her chicks stay warm. Today she only has 1 chick. Soon she will have many more. When there are many chicks, they will stay warm by sleeping next to each other. When there are few chicks, Careful Mary knows that they can still become too cold. She does not want any of her valuable chicks to die from cold. If the night is very cold and she only has a few chicks, she makes a fire in a cook stove for her chicks. She does not want to damage the brooder, so she leaves the cook stove about 1 meter away from her brooder. After 3 weeks, chicks can keep themselves warm. They don't need the brooder anymore. Remember to protect your young birds from predators. Tip: as your poultry business grows, you can buy chicken wire that will prevent hawks and dogs from killing your baby chicks. Do not let your chicks be hungry or thirsty. If the chicks do not have good food and water for the first 3 weeks, their growth will be stunted. Even when they are old, they will never grow big. Tip: ask your local agro dealer for a good chick starter food. Careful Mary always has her brooder set up before chicks hatch. She checks on the chicks in her brooder every day. She makes sure that they have food, water, and she keeps the brooder clean. After 3 weeks in the incubator, her chicks are healthy and growing fast. These chicks do not need the brooder. Careless John sometimes forgets to check on his brooder. Some of his chicks die from getting trampled by other chicks or chickens. He also forgets to use the drinker. He gave a bowl of water to his chicks. Some of his chicks drown in the water. He does not want to spend money on chick starter food. His chicks are hungry. After 3 weeks, his chicks are small and do not seem healthy. They will never be able to become big, profitable chickens because they are already stunted. Careful Mary's chicks are big and healthy after 3 weeks. She can send them out of her house to scavenge for food with the rest of her chickens. Let's review how to be like Careful Mary. Set up your ovo brooder before your eggs begin to hatch. Use the ovo feeder and drinker to give good food and clean water to your chicks in the brooder. If you only have a few chicks, give them a fire to stay warm on very cold nights. After 3 weeks, continue to protect your young birds from predators. Let's make sure that you are ready for your new chicks. Why do we need to carefully remove the pieces of eggshells when chicks hatch? The pieces of eggshells bring diseases that kill other eggs. Why does the brooder have a door? The door also allows chicks to enter and leave the brooder when they feel cold or hot. Why do we place the drinker outside of the brooder? Chicks splash water and become wet and cold. When the drinker is outside the brooder, they do not make the brooder wet. Why do baby chicks need chick starter food and clean water? The young birds will be stunted for their whole lives if they do not have good food and water for the first 3 weeks. Follow these steps to make sure your baby chicks have everything they need to grow. We will explore more about food for chickens in video 8.